So a pretty good amount of experience for both of them across the board, and both with a 5-4 record heading into this, and now with their respective wins last week, now 6-4 overall. This is going to be another one of those high potency matchups, and it looks like we are just about set to go here. And we've got ourselves a swamp. Ooh, that can make things challenging in the early going.
Yeah, those swampy starts can definitely be a tough thing to deal with, especially if you have low health and can't quite walk outside of said swamp.
And we've got a Druin with sleep and hurt. Ooh. And it looks like it's going to be 22 to level 2. I did have a little bit of an early hiccup here, so I did see that the dragon scale, okay, and the silver harp was, so we have the silver harp, the dragon scale, and the magic key in the treasure room, and ooh, wolf attacking for quite a bit.
Yeah, the way things are going here with that low starting health, since they can only take 6 steps and then it's death, this might end up being something that has to be re-rolled unless, since they have that silver harp, they can get something with playing a little tune to help them out.
Ooh, Poltergeist not exactly doing great for them either. So it looks like our competitors, what they're looking for is there's one enemy somewhere along the way here where they'll be able to take out an enemy that has, there's a specific one that has 5 hit points or less, and will only attack for 1 hit point per. And the red slime is definitely not it. And we've got a level up, which doesn't seem to be coming up on mcgrew's screen. We can hear it, but not see it. And the feed for the moment looks to be lost. So we know that there is a level that had occurred about 5 minutes in. And I think we're just able to see it now here. Oh, wow. So 210 experience for mcgrew. Going up to level 4 in one go. And meanwhile, finding a cave and getting hurt more with that increase to level 4. That's certainly going to assist things here. But the wolf is going to not play nice and send mcgrew back to the castle. Xarnax, meanwhile, struggling to find an enemy, and the navigation through this swamp certainly is a challenge. And we've got an Axe Knight that gets taken out in one go and gives 22 experience. And trying to grind just outside of the swamp is mcgrew, and casting Herd on a Druid Lord. Ooh, that doesn't quite do enough.
Yeah, so far these hurts on these enemies just haven't, it either hasn't been very effective or it hasn't been doing enough. And still, even with those levels, still trying to get out of the swamps, only has 4 health left over by the time he does get out of that swamp area.
And 224 for a Droll Magi. That's going to get him to level 6.
Yeah, still only 7 more HP, so he'll have a little bit more health when he gets out of the swamp, but not too much.
And mcgrew just taking the death on it.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you can do is just take a death when that's all you have available is just go ahead and refresh, start over, get that health regain. And poor Xarnax still trying to just find himself an enemy on his way to death by swamp, or at least trying to maybe see if he can get out of the swamp. He did start with 1 less health than mcgrew, though, so I believe they are working on different builds here. Oh no, they do have both Big Z. I don't know, maybe I'm saying it wrong. I thought mcgrew actually had started with 12 health.
Well, the Hurtmore is certainly opening things up, and it's just a matter of getting that 1 kill.
And speaking of Hurtmore, those Droll Magi casting Hurtmore, which do seem to be the enemy of choice, as long as they don't Hurtmore you before you get a chance. Oh, you know what? That is Little Z on mcgrew's side. Okay. They kind of looked almost the same size there. So that explains why there was that difference there. Big Z being the strength HP build, whereas little Z is the strength agility build. So it seems like mcgrew started with 1 health more than Xarnax did, but not too big a difference as it doesn't allow you to get out of the swamp either way.
So it's just a matter of timing and luck, it looks like, and Xarnax having that early struggle.
It seems a bit odd for a strength agility to give more health than a strength HP does, though.
Well, you start out with a little bit more health on a strength agility, but then over time you tend to get more HP as you level up.
Right, it just seems odd that if you start with a strength HP build, you would think you would start with more strength and HP than the other stats, but in this case it just didn't work out that way. mcgrew finally being able to get a little bit more distance from the castle, but finds that the wolf lords are not going to be worth it. And is this actually a landlocked castle and cave with that swamp, or is there something south of that swamp maybe?
It's hard to say, as they haven't done a whole lot of exploration south, because it is quite a walk with not a lot of hit points to be able to do so. And there's another Druid Lord giving 210. So that Druid Lord would have been the first kill that we did not see on screen, as that was the 210 experience that got mcgrew to this point, and now is going to get him to level 7 with 20 hit points gained and a new spell. We'll see what that is.
No MP gain on that level though, and wow, a wealth of new spells.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I have to say I'm with Edgy on that one. I think that's got to be the Swamp Cave. So this might actually just be Castle and Swamp Cave, and everything else will be on the second continent, which would be a little bit odd for what we've seen so far, to have such a small first continent.
And another level here for mcgrew.
And again with 0 agility this time and only 1 HP and MP. But at least the strength was a nice gain.
Oh, the Druid Lord packing a punch.
mcgrew a little bit healthier now than he was. We'll see if maybe he decides to try exploring a little south, or maybe he already has and we just missed it. And those Druid Lords also giving 210, and we'll get mcgrew to another level, and we see yet another empty eye 0 stat gain.
Well, Hurtmore seems to be what's doing it here. Is another level here for mcgrew, just 20 seconds. Wow, look at those totals, jumping up to level 11.
Now there's all those stat gains we were missing. And already level 11, not even at 2k experience so far, makes you wonder what's going to be waiting for them in the higher levels.
Is it something where it's all front-loaded?
It seems to be that way so far.
Oh man, and Xarnax just not catching a break, as he seems to be getting ambushed by a majority of the enemies here. And
if you get
now just able to punch a Druid Lord and get another level.
If you could ever get a chance to actually go first, he has that hurt spell, and wow, 34 MP on that level. So between the last 3 levels, we've gained over 20 on each of the stats, possibly even 30 on each at this point. This indeed does look like it'd be a fun seed, so long as you can actually get started. But that seems to be the problem here, is even though it was starting with the silver harp, everything that he's called to him with the harp has ended up killing him by either ambushing him or just being too powerful. And then everything he can find in the swamp, and we do get a small glimpse south of the castle. It looks like there is a little bit more land that way. So this may not be a landlocked castle so far.
Regardless, mcgrew just grinding outside of the swamp castle and just punching the Druid Lords for 210 at a time.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him. I mean, when the experience is plentiful, 210 from the Druid Lords, 210 from the Gerald Magi, I mean, he's got an ideal spot there, as he does gain yet another level with 11 power, 13 speed, 9 HP, and 1 magic this time. So the stats are definitely coming in now. And already at level 15, just 15 minutes in.
On that one. Wow.
And yet another.
Two.
Wow, 36 HP with that 2 levels, and he now has every spell. And 16 minutes, and he's already level 17, so it's less than a minute per level here.
My goodness.
And mcgrew finally going to do some exploration, and that is definitely not South Swamp, as that would have took him to the northern entrance, or exit rather.
Ah, so that was Swamp North. Well, now he's got Radiant.
And looks like Xarnax might finally get his first kill.
Swamp. This was the Mountain Cave.
Oh, Xarnax almost getting his first kill on that Droll Magi, so definitely not the Noodle Monster in this case, as he does have quite a bit of health. Yeah, so it looks like we should have some land south of the castle then that does lead elsewhere, and yep, as a lot of swamp, but it does lead elsewhere.
And to answer the question in chat, the level that mcgrew was able to get off of, to kind of get things going here, that was a Druid Lord.
And I missed the first chest in Mountain, but so far we do have wings and a torch.
You answered what I was just about to ask you, that very thing of what was there, but we see a magic key also.
And those Droll Magi is just going to town on Xarnax over there with Hurtmore.
And we've got an herb.
So not too much to be found in the mountain cave, but he does have a key now, which will give him access to the treasury in the castle, as well as the basement and more keys, since he does have just under 1,000 gold at 927.
Oh, well, good news for Xarnax. He was able to get his first kill. The not quite as good news, it was a metal scorpion that gave 5 experience.
Wow, and look at all this swamp here. Are we playing Big Swamp? Big Swamp mode being the one of the randomizer options, which somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe it makes it so that 50 or 75% is covered in swamp.
Oh, and there is a whole area to the south here. And mcgrew finding another cave. And this is Swamp North.
Apparently Sparkover was letting her inner swamp out. It does seem like Xarnax has found a monster that he can kill, since he did get that 5 experience, but it's going to be slow going until he can get that first level at 22 experience. That'll be 5 of those that he'll have to kill to get that.
I'm guessing it was just a matter of throwing Hurt up and taking out the Druin Lord.
Well, either the Druin Lord or the Droll Magi's, they do both give 210. Those Druin Lords dealing quite a bit of physical damage. I don't think it was the Druin Lord. Seeing as how
Droll Magi gave 224 from what I saw.
Oh, did it? Okay, so maybe it was that Druin Lord then. Wonder if maybe it was a nice Kaishin that got him that. Let me finally get a look at the Tantagel Treasury with a herb, the Fighter's Ring, the Fairy Flute, so that will not have to be searched for, and the Stones of Sunlight. So mcgrew cleaning up in the treasury here. So the Fairy Flute is now out of the running for one of the 3 search spots in Hawksness, under the boss tile in Cole, 4 steps south of the baths, or the world item, which does mean that there will be one of those 3 that will have nothing in it at this point at least.
And let's see what is in the basement. We have another cave.
Looks to be the grave, perhaps?
That it is.
Wow, so if there was gold in one of these chests down here, mcgrew could set up an easy gold grind, though we haven't seen any other towns to find out what could be purchased. Oh,
Magic breathing baby breath.
And stop spell. Not that he has much MP left to do anything with anyway, but good to know for future reference.
And just whacking at the Magidrakey for 96 experience. Oh, an Erdrick's sword.
Wow, so Tantagel, Treasury, and the basement just coming through with everything for mcgrew here. And unfortunately, looks like Xarnax had a decent chance in this Droll Magi, but decides to cast Hurt more and just send Xarnax back home again. mcgrew not going to check the last 2 chests just yet. Probably going to restore his MP and then maybe give it another try. Now, hopefully he will go ahead and grab those treasury chests again, or at least take a dip back into the throne room so he can get the chest count up, giving him the option of a gold grind.
109 MP and 120 HP.
Wow, so as long as he's got the strength, he is good to go. He just needs to find the items. That being the Stones of Sunlight, which he already has, the Silver Harp, which he already has, and geez, that strength at 153. So he is essentially in go mode. He just needs to find the token, the Staff of Rain Shrine, and the Jerk Cave, where he can get his Rainbow Drop.
And ideally, Erdrick's armor, considering how much... Oh, look at all this swamp!
And poor Xarnax, I mean, seems we're having a little bit of a repeat of a couple of our seeds we've had now, with Amazing Toaster, and I can't quite remember who that was that he was racing with.
I think it was Jackamus. Was Amazing Toaster in the first round.
Right, yeah, where there was quite a bit of time disparity between the 2 of them when I believe that was it Toaster who was lagging behind quite a bit there before he got his first level, as we do find Cantlin over on mcgrew's side. And then, of course, we had It's Too Early in Tristal, where Tristal was in that same boat, where just could not get a kill going. Wow, that hurt spell just not wanting to work on that Metal Scorpion right now. But he does get it to go off, and that will get him his second Scorpion kill now. 87 south and 10 to the east for our coordinates. Oof.
Ooh. So there is a searchable item as a second Metal Scorpion being fell by Xarnax.
That'll get him up to 10 experience, so he just needs to find either 3 more of those Metal Scorpions, or have a little bit of extra luck on either the Droll Magi or a Druin Lord.
And that seems to be the challenge in these seeds where the Tanagel Castle is based in a swamp, and it's just a grind to escape.
Yeah, and I've played one like that myself before. It's definitely rough because you only have a certain amount of HP until the swamp kills you. So trying to get something that you can kill and have enough HP that it can't kill you before you can kill it is definitely tough. And looks like we might be getting our princess save going here.
All I can think of is perhaps mcgrew realizing in his first round match, beating BT in just over an hour, perhaps, oh wow, just decimating the Scorpion here, getting 181 experience on it, and is able to rescue Prince Guimond.
And it does seem, with mcgrew having that strength agility build, that he did. Maybe he just had a little bit more agility to start with, which gave him that opportunity to have more chances of going first. That might have got him that first kill. A little surprised mcgrew did not check the Cantlin shops, unless I missed it, though.
No, I think he just went and got the coordinates, and that was it.
No, now he's gonna.
Well, maybe now he's gonna do so.
Yeah, apparently he's gonna go give Guimond a tour of these shops in Cantlin here. Let's see what we have.
Ooh, not too shabby on the silver shield. He only needs about another 300 gold. I think 1156 for a silver shield.
Yeah, which looks like he might go ahead and just try and grind that up with that magic armor for over 11,000. I don't think we'll be seeing that purchased.
No. Oh, we've got a Sharlock sighting.
Wow, so everything's so close. I mean, the Swamp Cave, Cantlin, Tantagel, the Grave, the Mountain Cave, and Sharlock. Everything's been just right in this little area, just separated by a massive swamp so far. And Xarnax still looking to find himself another Metal Scorpion or just something that he's going to be able to kill here. I did like the idea of going ahead and using the Silver Harp, but unfortunately it didn't seem like it was bringing him any enemies that were killable for him.
Lavkian noting in chat, yes, you are. Do not adjust your screen. Yes, 27.5 minutes in, and mcgrew is at level 17 and is purchasing the Silver Shield, already having Erdrick's Sword and the Silver Shield. Erdrick's Sword was in Garen's Grave. mcgrew was able to defeat a Druin Lord to get 210 experience to vault up to level 4 around the 5-minute mark, and acquired the Hurtmore spell in one of those first 3 levels and was just off to the races ever since. And it took roughly 2,600 experience to get to level 17. So the for being able to just farm on Druin Lords and Droll Magi, both giving over 200 experience each, and being right there around the castle, he just made his way over to the east and walked back and forth on the plains tiles and just kept Hurtmore spamming the Druin Lords and was able to just shoot up the levels.
And mcgrew does take Guimond back and gives him a torch as a token of Quaylen's love in this case. Xarnax still having some trouble here, finding Druin Lords, finding Droll Magi, finding everything but those Scorpions, which I can only assume must be our Noodle monster here, as he was doing, or he was only receiving 1 damage from them when they attacked him.
So we'll definitely have to ask mcgrew. Ooh, another 19th. So that seems to be where the balance is.
He hit level 17 only 16 minutes in with under 2,000, and he's at 4,000 now, so it seems that level 18 was about 4,000 away as he finds Breckenary and just nopes right back on out of there.
Yeah, he accrued level 17. He had exactly 2,600 hit points at the time, and that was just before the 16-minute mark. But from levels 16 and 17 to 18, it looks like it's about a 3,300 plus experience jump, more than double what he already had.
But still, even at that rate, having level 18 with under 10,000 experience is not unheard of, but pretty unlikely, as that would usually, even on the standard flags, require 14,250 to gain.
Ooh, and red dragons with 215 experience.
Yeah, significantly tougher to take down, though, but still worth it. And mcgrew just about on the tile here, as he does find yet another town. Perhaps this will be either Garnham or Rimildar, though he doesn't
it's the armor.
Rimildar. Yep, and he does acquire the armor, so he has all the best gear available, and it is Garnham. Meanwhile, Xarnax still looking to find either that metal scorpion or get a little bit of good luck on his side, so he can advance to his first level. And we have a death necklace, which can come into play, but is not really necessary to be found. And it seems like he just goes ahead and tosses it away. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't exactly need it. He's got 153 strength, 120 HP, so it's not going to be necessary at all. Even if the Dragon Lord 2 fight is a little rough, he has plenty of attack power and plenty HP to go at it, as he finds in the back of Garnham the standard Stone to Sunlight Cave, and I missed what was in that chest, though.
It was a torch. Z-Man, welcome to the luck of a swamp seed. As yes, do not adjust your screen.
And Stoneman being our Womp Womp in here with only 5 experience and I believe that was 29 gold.
Xarnax getting into some early struggles. It was around the 5-minute mark that mcgrew was able to take out a Druid Lord, I believe, with the Hurt spell, and that gave him 210 experience, which vaulted him from level 1 to level 4. And at level 4, he acquired Hurt more, and that just opened everything up. And the levels have been coming in bunches in the early going, getting to level 5 around 7.5 minutes in, actually jumping from 5 to 7 in that time frame. And then about 4 minutes later, getting to level 8, and it just by 16 minutes in, he jumped up to level 17 and taking out a Scorpion for 181 and nothing in the Hawk's Nest search spot.
That means we will have to still find coal, possibly for our token. We only have 1 chest left in Rimildar to be found, and then the 2 in the bottom of Garnham's grave, as mcgrew still has not gone back to that yet. And we find yet another town, so towns abound. Oh no, that was Breckenary, so he's just going to take a quick nap this time around at least.
Breckenary utilizing its most popular use, the 6 gold inn.
And Xarnax finding a Droll Magi again, but too low on health to survive that ambush attack, and will be sent back to the throne room. And looks to be going back to playing the Silver Harp strategy, and hopefully we'll find him a enemy that he can take down. But the wolf is definitely not going to be it, as mcgrew finds yet another cave.
Well, for those wondering, mcgrew getting his levels just outside the just east of the swamp at Tanagel Castle, was just walking back and forth on the plains tiles and encountering Druin Lord after Druin Lord, and having Hurtmore at level 4 was just able to one-shot Hurtmore them to get 210 experience at a time. So it was a matter of minutes to go level for level for level.
And by process of elimination, talk right properly. A process of elimination that had to have been the tablet cave, but mcgrew decides to just say nope, even though that does have yet another chest, which I did forget about that one as well. So we have Rimmeldar's chest, the tablet cave chest, as well as the 2 in the bottom of Garen's grave, which could still hold that token if it is not in coal, which has not been found, along with Rimmeldar, which those 2 may be along with the Jerk Cave and the Staff of Rain Cave on the other side of the Swamp Cave, as we have not seen what is on our other side yet.
And mcgrew just continuing to find those fruitful enemies for experience. Goldmen giving 193, and those seem to be plentiful.
And we do have another cave on mcgrew's side, so this looks like may not be everything over on the other continent after all. Xarnax still trying to get to that second level, has not found a metal scorpion in quite some time now, so it does seem that those are not too plentiful. And we do have our Jerk Cave with yet just another cave just to the west.
Ooh, and a Droll with Dragon Lord Breath. And Stop Spell.
Yeah, but with that Erdrick's armor, that Stop Spell is not going to work, and the Dragon Lord's Breath will be cut down quite a bit in damage. Even with all that health, though, still does take quite a bit off of you.
And finds the Staff of Rain Cave, not too far from the Rainbow Drop Cave. So he's going to trade in the Silver Harp and get the Staff of Rain.
Yep, looks like all he will be needing at this point is going to be that token wherever it may be found, whether it's the fourth tile south of the Baths and Coal, or one of our 4 remaining chests either in the Tablet Cave, Rimmeldar, or Garen's Grave. And we do have another town. This could be Coal or Rimmeldar. And it will be Coal, so let's see if we have our token here.
Oh, well, nothing to take. Oh, and the token's in the search spot.
Wow, so saves quite a bit of time not going to the bottom of the grave, skips the about a minute would take to explore Tablet Cave, and doesn't even need to find Rimmeldar at this point. All mcgrew needs to do is go back to the Jerk Cave, grab his Rainbow Drop, maybe take a rest at Reckonary on his way back to Sharlock, and he'll be on his way. This, I don't want to throw too much of a curse here, but this could easily be a sub 50 seed here, and would definitely put it in our top number 1 slot for times on Chaos.
Wow, I mean, just in this tournament alone, mcgrew already holding the fastest non-speed hacks time at 1 hour and 46 seconds. Oh, and a Droll with the Dragon Lord Breath.
And set for noting that the Droll Magi are beatable since they do only hit for 2 to 4, unless they cast Hurt More, which does send you back home at this low level.
I do recall mcgrew having 210 experience at level 4. So with no other enemies, that's why I'm pretty sure we weren't able to see, and this is something we're definitely going to ask and see if mcgrew can recall, as that has been the turning point of this match.
Oh, and Xarnax getting taken down by the Droll Magi again as he hits for 4, and did not have any hits with 2 this time around. Yeah, it does seem mcgrew is making a beeline for Sharlock, just killing things on the way, as he only needed 688 more to get to level 18, which will just boost his already rather high stats for HP, MP, and strength at this point. I believe there was. Yep, I believe there was a town near Sharlock, so I wonder if he'll go take an inn rest or not.
And this red dragon is going to be a little of a struggle for mcgrew, but once he takes it down, it'll put him close to level 18, only needing about another 131, I believe.
Ouch, and Xarnax summoning a poltergeist, which hits him for 33 to send him right back to the throne room.
And a poltergeist is an enemy we haven't, at least I haven't taken much note of it if I'd seen it, as far as what it brings to the table. And here we are just over 40 minutes in, and mcgrew is utilizing the rainbow drop. And trying to get that one more enemy needed, and another Magiwyvern will do it, but they keep running away. The Drakema not going to do it either. And Xarnax, this has been a struggle.
Yeah, I'm not in the SRL chat, but I can only imagine that he may have asked for a reroll. But of course, at that point, mcgrew had just catapulted long and ahead and was not going to be willing to reroll at that point, it would seem. Either that or Xarnax is just being a trooper and going for it and hoping for the best here, as he does find himself another Metal Scorpion. So if he can get this down, he will get another 5 experience and only need 2 more of those Metal Scorpions to hit that first level at 22 experience. And set for noting that 5 XP is just not fun to grind on. I've been there myself, having small chance of finding the one enemy that gives you just a tiny amount of experience and needing over 40 experience. Having to take down anywhere from 8 to 10 of those, being hit and miss on finding them and giving very little. It is painful for sure, as mcgrew does get his level 18 now. Wow, that 12 agility and 14 MP increase.
What can I say? As JJ Schmidt noting in chat, this is an awesome show of chaos. This is almost like a Tale of Two Cities version of chaos. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yep, he does find himself another Droll Magi, but gives him a good punch before he even gets a chance to do anything to it. So we'll see if he can perhaps get a chance to take this one down this time. And nope, Droll Magi hitting for 3 and 4 will send him back home before he gets a chance. It seems like 3 hurt might actually do it if it ever gave him the chance to do so. As long as all goes well for mcgrew going down through Charlock here, as he's about to head down to the 2nd floor, this could still be under 50 minutes here. Definitely going to be a sub-hour so long as the Dragon Lord is not a troll.
Oh, goodness. It almost seems like the play for Xarnax, if it is something that hasn't already been done, is to just walk out the castle and just play the harp right there, and he's doing that, but with 11 HP and constantly getting back attacked.
Yeah, that low agility is just getting him hit with back attacks galore here.
He just hasn't found an enemy to wail away on.
As A Skeleton shows its proficiency at that back attack with a hit of 24 to send Xarnax back home again.
So we have reached the 45-minute mark of this seed, and we'll definitely have to find out from mcgrew what that enabling factor was, as we weren't able to see it.
And just to give a quick recap, as mcgrew's making his way down to the Dragon Lord, our silver harp was found in our starting chests. The Erdrick's sword was found in the top 3 chests in Garenham's grave. The Stones of Sunlight were in the treasury. The token was in the Coal searchable spot. The armor was in our overworld spot with the Cantlin coordinates, which were 87 south and 10 east. And our silver shield is actually only about 1,100 gold this time around, which was found in Cantlin in the first shop. And all of our towns and caves were all right next to each other or in a line from each other, not too far away. The only things we did not see, I believe, was Rimmeldar, which would have been on the other continent perhaps, or maybe a little bit further around. So our second continent may not have had anything to be found on it at all. Or as I'd like to coin it, the Sparkover continent.
Trying to give property wherever we can to Sparkover, who's restreaming here and doing a fantastic job. As mcgrew has made his way to the 5th basement of Sharlock. One damage from the red dragon. So I would imagine that at this point, mcgrew has damage broke the red dragon.
Yeah, and just
having the dragon. Or did it have the Dragon Lord breath, or am I confusing it with the seed I just called a little bit ago here?
I believe red dragons did, but it did not cast it very often. Or I should say use it. It's not a spell. It doesn't cast things. Yeah, this Sharlock being unusually kind as mcgrew makes his way down. Then again, everything that he has been showing up, he's able to easily dispatch of with that high strength that he's got. Doing 50 to a night and just sending it packing back home.
Rather large encounter rate.
Yeah, this last floor not being so kind on the encounter rate for him. And yeah, as we've seen in some of our other previous races, this is the magic of chaos. It can be kind to you, or it can just say no. And in Xarnax's cases, it's just been saying no.
And we've got a Drakema for the boss. It's attacking for quite a bit, but able to just outmuscle it.
Yeah, those Drakemas hurting quite a bit there, but it doesn't take much, and it does go down. So he'll be heading his way to the Dragon Lord, probably have a couple of herbs before he starts the fight.
156 attack, so that is going to be a range of 14 to 28 on Dragon Lord 2. Pretty potent attack, or pretty potent defense, I should say, but only 30 taking out Dragon Lord 1. And mcgrew immediately going for a stop spell that doesn't have an effect. Now 0 for 2 on trying for stop spell, and he's just going to attack and take his chances. Up to 35 now. And another 16, that makes 51. Stop spell does not stop the Fire Breath or Dragon Lord Breath.
Oh, but if only it could.
Wow, 27.
And looks like our Dragon Lord here is not going to have sleep, but could possibly have heal. But the amount of strength that mcgrew has here, he could easily outdamage those heals.
Wow, and a max roll of 28. It's up to 145. Wow, up to 170. So this is a pretty high HP Dragon Lord.
Yeah, our highest so far being, what was it, 203? Or no, it's 226.
226, yes. Oh, and he's got heal.
Yeah, he does have heal, but mcgrew can just easily outdamage those heals. And that'll do it.
Wow, mcgrew with minimal trouble dispatching of the Dragon Lord, and I'm flabbergasted here as to how this has all played out. But, ladies and gentlemen, get out your GGs for mcgrew, who has steamrolled through here and has finished with an official SRL time of 51 minutes and 58 seconds. Wow.
And that is going to be our fastest time here now. And that is going to be something that is hard to beat. The fastest I can say I've ever had a Chaos go was just a little under 50 at 49 minutes and some odd seconds. That's only happened
Xarnax
once.
Has immediately forfeited.
I can't say I blame him there. I would have done the same.
You never know what you're going to get when it comes to a race, and I mean it is unfortunate that that it just seemed to be that one particular thing. And looking forward to talking to mcgrew and getting his mindset and finding out, since we weren't able to see it on the stream, what it was at that 5-minute mark that allowed him to take out what I'm presuming is the Druin Lord, as we weren't able to see it up on the stream, but that vaulted him to level 4, and it was just off to the races from there. And Xarnax only able to take out 3 metal scorpions at 5 experience apiece, and the last of those being at the 46-minute mark. Wow.
And Spark over letting us know that Xarnax did ask for a reseed, but yeah, at that point, since mcgrew had already kind of catapulted at 5 minutes in, I was definitely a little bit too late. Yeah, those swamp seeds they're definitely tough, especially with that low starting HP. You don't get to move around too much before you're already dead by the swamp damage. And then even once you do find an enemy, if you find it when you're down to only 1 or 2 HP left from the swamp damage, it's unlikely to be able to take it down. So they are rough.
I guess we'll have to figure out, as mcgrew joining us in chat here. Congratulations and GG. Wow, I guess where to start with this. Something that we're trying to look at what ended up being the turning point of the match. There was a little bit of a hiccup in the feed, and we were able to hear at the 5-minute mark that an enemy had been slain, and it vaulted you to level 4. I believe it was a Druin Lord.
It was a Druin Lord.
What was it? Was it a critical hit? Was it a hurt that hit?
It was a hurt spell that hit him and killed him. Yeah, my console sometimes, my capture card sometimes desyncs when I hit reset the console, and I noticed it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna reset again here in a moment anyway. So, but then so happened that was the time I got the kill. But
it was that crucial moment, and that had you off to the races. Xarnax, meanwhile, he struggled to say the least. I mean, that is an understatement. All he was able to take out in the entire time was 3 metal scorpions at 5 experience apiece. So he unfortunately did not even get to level 2.
yeah, that's why I talked to him in the race chat a little bit after the race. I don't know, that sucks. I was hoping for a good race. I know he asked for a reroll. By that time, I think level 8 or so, and I debated on it, but
Okay, so that would have been about 11 and a half minutes. Oh, you'd hit level 8 around 11 and a half minutes into the race.
okay.
So that would have been somewhere in that 11 to 12 minute mark.
Yeah.
Because not too long after that, not too long after that, you'd hit level 7 at 11 and a half minutes. You hit level 8 at a little under 12 and a half minutes. And we're at 9 by about 45 seconds later. And then it was just going nonstop after those Druid Lords. You'd gone to level 11 about 20 seconds after that. So by the time you hit 16 minutes, you were at level 17.
Yeah, I think I got to level 17 before I even left the castle area.
Yeah, and then those levels, the early levels weren't that giving, but those later levels, the HP, the MP, the agility, the strength just abound. Already at 153, I believe it was, at level 17 for strength.
Yeah, it was pretty
120
high.
HP.
And also joining us in the Discord chat is Xarnax. Our hearts go out to you here. I've seen a lot of Phil's Badman in the chat here. It was, as I noted earlier, it was a tale of 2 cities, the best of times and the worst of times.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Now, we had noted it was noted that somewhere in the roughly 11, 12, maybe 13 minute mark that you were looking for a reroll because of the struggles that you had. Unfortunately, it looks like it was right around the 5 minute mark that mcgrew had cast a hurt spell that landed on a Druid Lord for 110 or 210 experience. That vaulted him from level 1 to 4, and level 4 had either 2, 3, or 4 somewhere in there had hurt more, and that just created this this freight train of momentum that he just right outside of that swamp area to the east was just continually grinding on those Druid Lords for 210 a pop. And next thing you know, by 7.5 minutes in, he jumped up to level 6, and then level 7 about 4 minutes later, and then the levels just came one after another, and within a 4-minute span, a little more than a 4.5 minute span, from 11.5 minutes into almost 16 minutes, he went from level 7 to 17 because the experience that needed to get to those levels was very low early on. It was only about 2,600 experience to level 17 total.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be a fast seed. I probably was going to forfeit at the hour mark. But I'm glad it was over before that, so there wasn't... But, whatever.
That's chaos for you. I noted I've had a few of those seeds myself where you just start in swamp and it's it's rough going. You have low HP, you don't get much movement, and then by the time you find an enemy, you're usually so low in HP that you don't even get a chance, even if it is that lucky noodle monster, which does seem to have been that metal scorpion that you found.
Yeah, it was nice of him to have like 10 and 16 hurt resistance too. Maybe more.
Yeah, I think I tried to cast hurt on one of those once, and it failed. And I think by that time I only had like 4 hit points left from walking through the swamp.
I know I'd seen Xarnax at one point had cast I think 5 or 6 hurt spells that just didn't connect with those scorpions.
Would have been 4. We only had 8 MP.
Right, 4. I might have just been seeing it back to back from one to another then. Yeah, it seems that there was a little bit of an issue with getting those ambush attacks as well. mcgrew did go with the strength agility build, whereas you were on the strength HP build. So I was wondering if that had any effect on mcgrew's ability to not get ambushed as much.
Probably not early on. I don't think I would have. Actually, my agility probably would have been lower, or if not the same. So I don't know. I guess I just got lucky. Is all I can think.
Well, as chaos goes, I mean, there is definitely a little bit of luck early on to get started. And then after that, then it just depends on your decisions, where you go, what you decide to grind on. And we never did see our second continent, as all the towns and the caves were kind of just strung out together in a nice, neat little cluster almost.
Yeah, well, I did good. I think the jerk was on the second continent, and I feel like Cole was on the second continent also. I think. But
Wow. Yeah. Well,
yeah, I don't know.
I know. As Willy Wonka said, for some things in life, there are no words. What can you say? Well, I mean, we can look ahead to the to moving on in the tournament here. So mcgrew, with this victory, qualifies you automatically into the bracket stages a couple of weeks from now, but you'll still have one more seed in the Swiss style here to determine seeding and whatnot. Although, considering how your first two races have gone, things are looking pretty good for you thus far, with the combined time of an average combined time of about 55 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, I think the first seed was just over an hour.
It was an hour and 46 seconds for the first seed, and now this one 51:58. So about 56 and change minutes on average. But yeah, as they're noting here, you don't get 52 minutes here without playing a fantastic round, and you most certainly did. It was just, I mean, it was a combination of luck and skill that got you to this point. But Xarnax certainly not out of it, as this sending you to 1-1. This will get you into the Erdrick advancement round in the third round of our Swiss style, and a win there will get you right into the mix here. So there's certainly a lot still at stake here for all of our competitors.
Yeah.
But coming up a little bit later tonight, actually about a little more than 3.5 hours from now, we have the third of our triple header. It's going to be BT against Jake Hoper. That'll be at 11 p.m. Eastern. That'll be over on the Randomania network, as opposed to here on Randomania 2. And then Monday night, things are going to get as chaotic as we've seen here, as we're going to have a quadruple header for you, and they're essentially all going to overlap, as we have first at 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday, we have Janus and the Seawolf 1. Then at 9 o'clock, two matches going on at the same time on Monday. Lord of the Synth against Amazing Toaster, and the Tie-Dye Guy against Katen 619. And then at 9:30, you have Sparkover against Tristal. And then closing out the second round on Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern will be Angry Larry against Ryusation, my commentating partner here.
Definitely quite a lineup for tomorrow. And I believe those two that are going at the same time at 9 o'clock, we may have a dual streamed race there on those.
Yeah, some of the logistics being worked out for Monday night on that. Tomorrow, a bit of a respite for everybody, and certainly going to be needed after the way things have gone here over the last couple of days already, with things being as chaotic as they have.
And that is the name of the game there, with it being chaos.
It most certainly is. So, any final parting thoughts here on how things have gone here?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of to say is I was a little confused at first when we first spawned. I thought it was just Tanager and that cave there on the continent, and I walked into the continent, thought I was in Swamp South, and cast outside, and it took me back out. I got a little confused there, but later I figured out that was Mountain Cave, and there was actually a path to the south. But aside from that, no, I don't really have any much more to add.
Yeah, I have to admit, I had that same thought at first, as we hadn't seen south of the castle, as neither one of you were really able to get south due to that massive amount of swamp, which did extend quite a bit downward. I want to say probably about another 20 or so tiles. So I was thinking it was just going to be the castle and that cave being the swamp there. Then once you were finally able to actually move south, we saw that it did extend quite a bit outward.
Yeah, it went all the way down. I think from the top of the map to the bottom. It seemed like because I was able to walk to the token, or was it the armor? It was the armor spot. And it was like 87 south, I think.
87 south and 10 east. Apparently, this seed had the Elfgard Everglades. There was so much swamp.
I was starting to wonder at first, as you were walking through all that swamp, if somebody had the big swamp flag turned on by mistake there.
Yeah, I had the same thought. It's like, wow, there's so much swamp here. And then I get through the swamp cave when I found it, and there was swamp there. You know?
Well, that's going to just about wrap things up here for the second of our triple header. Stay tuned in 3.5 hours over on Randomania for the third of our triple header. And make sure to give our runners a follow here, mcgrew and Xarnax42, as well as our restreamer Sparkover, doing a fantastic job keeping us running here and out to everybody. A little love for the Sparkover bear. And for my co-commentator, Ryusation, until next time, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. Good evening, everyone.